What's up, YouTube? Tim Moose here. Here is my Throwback 7, where I talk about the films that turns 10, 20, 30, and 40 this week. Alright, the film celebrating their 10th anniversary is, oh boy, I can't believe these are 10, is Neil Blomkamp's Chappie. Now, this is, of course, was like his third film following, District 9, uh, the Matt Damon one, Elysium. And if you guys don't remember much about Chappie, Uh, this also had like Sigourney Weaver, Hugh Jackman, Dev Patel. It also had famed South African singers Ninja and Yolanda Visser. Of course, it's about an artificial general intelligence law enforcement robot captured and taught by gangsters who nicknamed it Chappie. Now, the reviews for this was not so good. I remember, I actually remember watching this one in theaters back in 2015. Despite the review, not so good reviews that came out at the time, I still decided to give it a go, and I'm glad I did. It's more better than most people give it credit for. I mean, if you guys have not seen Chappie, unpopular to say, this is obviously my favorite Neil Blomkamp movie will always be District 9. This is my second favorite film of his. This movie is more better than most people give it credit for. I like the visuals here. Hugh Jackman was great. Sigourney Weaver. I mean, Ninja and what's her name again? Yolanda Viss, I think her name was. Uh, they were okay. They were playing their parts fine and all. I oh and I believe Shanta Copley was also in this too because it's a Neil Blomkamp movie. You know I It's really good. I mean it's a lot of fun. I adore Chappie. Sally movie was a complete flop. I really wish it did much better because I I'm probably to say I want to see a Chappie sequel more than a District 9 sequel. That's gonna be a popular stage with some people. But if I had to choose which I want a sequel to between District 9 or Chappie, I will totally choose Chappie. I just want to see that robot back again. It's such a shame it didn't do so well. They should do a TV show maybe that could work. I don't know, but I would love to see Chappie again one of these days. But uh, don't think that's ever gonna happen. Anyway, also turning 10 is Unfinished Business, which of course starred the likes of Vince Vaughn, uh, Dave Franco, Tom Wilkinson, and of course it's where of course you got Vince Vaughn who plays businessman who quits and forms his own competing sales here, and he takes a retiring associate played by Tom Wilkinson and a dimwit sales applicant played by Dave Franco with him, and it's actually a really nice little comedy. Check out. It was from the same director who also did that other Vince Vaughn movie called Delivery Man, which a little more better than most people give it credit for. You also again you had the late great Tom Wilkinson, James Marsden was in this. Very underrated little comedy to be honest. Yeah, like I remember, it's been a while since I've seen it. But I remember really enjoying it at the time. And Vince Vaughn obviously was great. Dave Franco was good. A really funny little comedy to check out. All right. Also turning 10 is the second best exotic Marigold hotel, which is the follow up to 2012's best exotic Marigold hotel. Uh, of course, you had the likes of Judy Dench, Maggie Smith, Dev Patel. I remember Dev Patel calling, uh, being interviewed for this film. Once actually calling Best Exotic Marigold Hotel Adventures for Old People. And you know what? If you actually watch these movies, definitely they really feel like Avengers for the ugly. Of course, you have the late great Maggie Smith was in this. Rana Pickup is not as good as the first film, but I actually thought it was a really decent one, like a decent follow up. I mean, I didn't really think it needed a sequel to be honest, yeah, but it was still pretty decent, worth giving a go. Uh, of course, Judy Dench was great in this. I mean, if you guys haven't seen both films, to be honest, definitely give both a go. Richard Gere, of course, was good in this too, so really decent flick. All right, now films turning 20 this week is Be Cool. Speaking of Vince Vaughn, by the way, he's also in this one. Now, of course, Be Cool is like the sequel, if you will, of Get Shorty from 1995. Be Cool is not as good as Get Shorty, but I really quite enjoyed Get Shorty. If you also want to see the Dwayne Johnson with hair, by the way, yeah, definitely. Obviously, at the time he went by The Rock. He never went by Dwayne Johnson at the time. But yeah, Dwayne Johnson at the time actually had hair in this, and I can see you say this was like one of his earliest films he did before he became like as bigger as he was now. Obviously, you had like John Travolta, a major Pulp Fiction reunion with John Travolta, Uma Thurman, Cedric the Entertainer was in this. I Am Cool, Christina Milian, Harvey Keitel, Danny DeVito. Of course, this star like John Travolta, who plays Chili Palmer, who is ready for his next big movie, and he enters like a business that has like more than just temperamental musicians. You got Russian mobsters, rival producers, hitmen, who are out to bring him down. And you also have James Woods. Okay. Obviously, you had like a Pulp Fiction reunion. I believe this was actually like the first time that Travolta and Deborah worked together since Pulp Fiction, so that was pretty cool. I mean, if you guys have not seen Be Cool, again, it's not as good as Get Shorty or anything, but I actually always quite enjoyed Be Cool. So, really good film there. All right. Also turning 20 is The Pacifier. Pretty much, the family comedy starring Vin Diesel. Of course, you had like Lauren Graham, Brittany Snow. I believe this was actually Brittany Snow's first film, if I'm not mistaken, or I think she did something before. I don't remember. But of course, you guys don't know much about. Obviously, you don't know much about the Pacifier. It starred Vin Diesel, who plays like this Navy SEAL, you know, commander Shane Wolf, who is assigned to babysit the dead man's family. And you also had like a I forgot how you pronounce the last name. The guy from Base Motel, he's also on SEAL Team. Max Troy, I think his name is. He was in this. It did not really get the best reviews at the time, but I always adore the Pacifier. This was pretty like a time where like Vin Diesel was trying to do something very different outside of the Fast and Furious, and so obviously he decided to take care of some families. Vin Diesel was actually pretty fun in this. He really was like charming. Shows that he's not just like straight up. Obviously, this was also a time where like action stars were trying to get into like the family movie business. Lots of action movie stars have done. Obviously, you had Arnold Schwarzenegger with Jingle All the Way. You had obviously Dwayne Johnson with A Game Plan, Tooth Fairy, and all. Jackie Chan obviously done it with that what was that one with George Lopez, Billy Ray Cyrus? Yeah, Spy Next Door, and of course the Pacifier was directed by Adam Shankman, who gave us movies like Bring Down the House, Hairspray, and many others. And if you also want to see Vin Diesel, pretty much have some singing in this. Whoever knew Vin Diesel could sing, but cool. I mean, if Pacifier is, I don't care what anyone says. Like, I know the reviews was abysmal. So many people did not like the Pacifier, but I don't care what anyone says. I love this movie. I will watch it anytime I get a chance to. So, all right. Also turning 20 is The Jacket. Now, of course, The Jacket starred, nowly two-time Oscar winner Adrian Brody, and of course, The Jacket was like pretty much like a sci-fi film here. And of course, you had like Keira Knightley, Jennifer Jason Lee. Uh, Not bad little sci-fi film, to say at least. I mean, if you guys don't know much about the story here, uh, it stars like Adrian Brody, who plays American Gulf War veteran Jack Starks, who can't explain why he's been found at the scene of a murder. And Jack is subject to Dr. Thomas Becker, played by the late Chris Christopherson, unusual treatment plan. And of course, he looked away on his own, and he discovers that he can travel to like the future here. And of course, you got Keira Knightley, who plays his acquaintance. The Jack is a nice little sci-fi thriller worth giving a go. Obviously, Adrian Brody, was pretty good in this. Really decent little film. Check out. All right, films turning 30 this week. Oh, wait, we got some good ones here. We got Tank Girl, of course, based on the iconic graphic novel or British comic series, I should say. Of course, you had the likes of Naomi Watts, and it's like set in the Australian years after the catastrophic impact event, and it follows anti-hero Tank Girl, played by Laurie Petty, as she Jet Girl, played by Watts, and modified super soldiers called the Rippers fight water and power, uh, led by um led by Kelsey, played by Malcolm McDowell. You also had Ice T. It's it's not a good movie, but it is actually one of those. It's one of those movies that is so bad it's good territories. It is pretty fun though. If you guys haven't seen it, get a couple of adult beverages. Give it a go. You'll probably either enjoy it or you won't enjoy it. But anyway, all right. Also turning dirty is Man of the House. Now you're probably wondering, wait, did you just talk about this last week? That's a different one. That Man in the House I was talking about last week had like Cedric the Entertainer, Tommy Lee Jones. This is the one that has like Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Farrah Fawcett, Chevy Chase. And if you guys don't know much about Man of the House, it's about this kid played by Jonathan Taylor Thomas, who obviously at the time was very popular thanks to The Lion King, Home Improvement. I mean, lots of he was pretty much a teen hot rod back in the '90s. And of course, it's about like he plays this kid who must like come to terms with his potential stepfather, played by Chevy Chase. And of course, who's a well-meaning lawyer who is unknowingly the subject of a manhunt by relatives of a man he helped land in prison. And Man of the House is a really funny little comedy. The chemistry between John Taylor Thomas, Chevy Chase is pretty good. Farrah Fawcett, R.I.P. was amazing in this. Really funny little comedy, like '90s little gem. If you guys haven't seen it, all right. Also turning, also turning 30 is a Hideaway, which is actually a not so good movie starring Jeff Goldblum. You also had Christine Leffy, Alicia Silverstone, and it's like a not so good horror film which stars Goldblum as plays a man who dies in a car accident, only to be revived 2 hours later. And after being revived, he experiences frightening visions here, and he like begins to understand that he has become physically connected to like a serial killer. It's a little forgettable. I mean, Jeff Goldblum was fine in this. Alicia Silverstone, obviously this was around time like the same year that Clueless came out, so there's that. But yeah, this wasn't all that great. Not all that scary, pretty boring at times. So yeah. All right. Also turning 30, we got Roommates, which stars Peter Falk, who you might remember as the grandfather from The Princess Bride. So there's that. Of course, he was Columbo. Who remembers Columbo? Of course, this is where at 75, feisty old timer Rocky adapts his orphan grandson, and at age 100, a crusty old timer moves in, and the kid turned medical intern wondering if they can ever like be roommates. You also had like Julianne Moore, Ellen Burstyn, Frankie Faison, William H Macy. Not a bad little film there. There's also the also turning 30 is The Mangler, which is directed by Texas Chainsaw director Toby Hooper. And this, of course, stars like Robert Englund. And it's more like after a gruesome accident leads an officer to believe that a laundry machine is possessed by a bloodthirsty demon. It's a little dumb, but it's not really Toby Hooper's best work, obviously. I mean, he was always a horror director. Him and Wes Craven were like two of the best horror directors at the time. Obviously, Toby Hooper did like the original Poltergeist, Texas Chainsaw, a really interesting film. Oh, he also did the Funhouse, really cool horror film there. This is actually a really decent little one. Check out. Uh, R.I.P. Toby Hooper, horror directing legend there. Uh, but yeah, really good flick here. All right, now turning 40 is not wholly much turning 40 this week. We got the movie Mask. No, not to be confused with Jim Carrey's The Mask. This is, of course, the film about Rocky Dennis, starring Cher, Sam Elliott, Laura Dern. Mask is it's gonna leave some tears in your eyes here. Of course, this is the film about Rocky Dennis, who is this kid who has a who has like a you know dysplasia disease, a rare genetic disorder known commonly as a lioness. And the movie is very it is very heartbreaking, especially if you like know much about the story of Rocky Dennis. If you read about what happened to him, and of course you have like Cher who of course plays Rocky Dennis's mother. Cher was amazing in this. Sam Elliott was great in this. Laura Dern, Eric Stoltz, who by the way, if you guys remember, cool fact: Eric Stokes was originally gonna play Marty McFly in Back to the Future, but that never came to fruition. I feel like he doesn't hardly do anything anymore nowadays, but of course he was like in other stuff too. He was in Anaconda in the '90s. This was actually like I guess say the movie that really put him on the map. I believe this was like his breakout role, if I'm not mistaken. Of course, Laura Dern was terrific. Like his chemistry with Laura Dern was really good. The makeup was terrific. If you guys have not seen not the mask. If you guys haven't seen Mask, I'm gonna say, do yourself a favor, go watch it. It's an '80s classic. It'll definitely put some tears in your eyes. Eric Stokes was terrific in this. Definitely give this film a go. It's a really heartbreaking but touching film. But that's pretty much it. Let me let you guys. Which of these films stand out to you the most? To me, the 10-year one is actually going to go to Chappie. The 20-year one is going to go to the Pacifier. The 30-year one is going to Man of the House, and the 40-year one is, of course, Mask. Anyway, drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Tim Simon.